Yes, the back is on.
Can we just, let me ask, yeah, we good? Okay, well, call the meeting order 11:03. Please join us for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I can check on my phone.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman Ciccanetti?
Present.
Trustee Hillier? Present. Trustee Todd?
Present.
Fiscal Officer Patriarca?
Present.
All present on the council.
Thank you. I need a motion to approve the minutes from the September 6, 2022 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Summary of the work session, please, Mr. Zampedro.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At our work session, we did have extensive discussion on golf cart resolution. The trustees are considering allowing street legal golf carts within the township, possibly subject to certain conditions. State law does permit them, if locally authorized, to operate on streets with a speed limit of 35 miles per hour and under. We also discussed off-street semi-truck parking on Freedom Road and what that was doing to our road edgeway. We had a discussion with the fire chief regarding upcoming retirements in the department as well as promotions. Our service director discussed Virginia Drive pavement situation where we do have a remedy, but there will be at least a one-day interruption to certain residents' driveways if we're able to affect that. Service director also updated us on the regional detention pond status, the idea to put in some property markers to clearly delineate the township boundary on that natural area, as well as a discussion as to how we might remedy phragmites control going forward. Our planning and zoning director updated us on where we were at with the Sibley project, as well as possibly looking at car wash zoning in our business districts. That's my summary, sir.
Okay, thank you. Any old business from the floor? Any new business from the floor? Lake County Sheriff's Office report, please.
Good morning. For the month of August, the Sheriff's Office recorded 1,379 calls for service. Of those calls for service, 2 were injury accidents, 11 were damage accidents. We had a busy arrest month. Adult male for warrant, possession of narcotics, and adult male for receiving stolen property, firearm. Adult male domestic violence assault, adult male disorderly conduct, adult male aggravated menacing disorderly conduct, adult female theft of a credit card, adult female identity theft and forgery, adult male possession of methamphetamine, and then another male possession of methamphetamine, cocaine paraphernalia, another male possession of cocaine paraphernalia, another male warrant possession of meth and paraphernalia, another male possession of cocaine paraphernalia, adult male for a TPO violation, temporary protection order, meaning adult male for OVI, another adult male for possession of meth, another adult male for possession of cocaine,
That's me.
another male for OVI, another female for OVI, and another adult male for drug paraphernalia, 2 juveniles for arson, adult male for theft, adult female for domestic violence assault, adult female for a temporary protection violation, adult male for disorderly conduct abusing harmful intoxicants, adult female for possession of cocaine, another adult female for warrant and possession of heroin, adult male for domestic violence and felonious assault, adult male for domestic violence and a juvenile for theft, and an adult female for disorderly conduct. Also, 53 alarms, 31 citations issued for traffic violations, 217 warnings for traffic violations, 12 DUSs, which is driving under suspension, 32 animal complaints, 26 civil complaints, 29 disturbances, 14 domestic violences that didn't require an arrest, 24 juvenile complaints, 103 suspicious circumstances, vehicles, and persons, 36 traffic complaints, and 32 welfare checks, just to name a few. We new in the sheriff's office, we now have 3 deputies in Riverside. Deputy Rowland and Deputy Basco are school resource officers. Deputy Karen Sweet came to us from the Juvenile Justice Center in Lake County. She's a past detective with us, a past investigator with Geauga County Prosecutor's Office. She works the front desk as an SSO, which is a school security officer. We have Mike Bruning, who's a retired detective from Menor. He works at the Muth now. And we have Chris Collins, who is working between Buckeye, who is the ex-police chief for
I was gonna say, is that
Willoughby Hills, and he also worked with us in our CCW for a little bit. So now he's working out of Buckeye, and then he makes his way to Melridge for a certain period of time and goes back to Buckeye. We are going to fill Riverview and Parkside and Melridge full-time as soon as we find some good three good candidates.
About time, and not on your end, but,
Yeah.
you know, years back, we actually had a committee started with Riverside to try to push this initiative, to try to get, you know, officers in the schools, and at that point, Riverside didn't have the resources, so it's good to see they finally are,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
obviously paying for this, right?
The Riverside does pay for all the SSOs.
Okay,
It's that one is fully on, the SSOs are fully on Riverside.
okay,
The SROs, which is Roland and Basco.
That's within the
And the
department.
difference is Basco and Roland are everybody's a full-fledged deputy. Basco and Roland are road certified, investigator certified through us.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that the SSOs can't.
Sure.
But they handle the arrests, they handle the investigations, and trust me, there's a lot. So, and then Roland or Basco sometimes will leave Riverside and go do checks at the elementary schools until we get those completely filled.
good to see.
So that's working out well. They've already had a busy year so far. Not as bad as last year so far, but they're still busy.
Yeah.
So they're getting their money's worth. And we got some great, the SSOs that we hired are outstanding, so we want to get 3 more outstanding ones. We
Good.
don't want to settle for less. K-9 Sato and K-9 Riker are in service now. They work from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. And they're split up, so each platoon, they cover, they're covered, so we have them almost every day.
Nice.
So for 2 days, Sato's on. When he's off, Riker's on. And then 2 days, Sato's on. So that not only does it add a K-9 to each platoon, but it actually bolsters our staffing during 2 to 2 a.m. because they don't count as the typical manpower anyway.
Okay.
Our mounted unit is in service. We've already used them quite a bit for both public functions and patrol functions. And we anticipate using them for Halloween. We have 3 deputies currently in training, Underwood, Nemi, and Tusick. Underwood and Nemi came from our corrections division, Tusick's an ex-Marine. They're in training. Tusick, they should be done with training in the next 2 to 2.5 months. Gaylog was in training. He just got blessed to be on solo patrol last week, so he is counting as manpower staff. And we're in the process, we just did 3 interviews, and we're hiring 4, so, and the people we interviewed are looking promising. So, once those guys get the okay to be hired, then we'll have 4 on training.
So this will be able to fulfill all the ones that,
Once
the extra
the-
money that we are coming up with?
So
Okay.
once these 4 are finally interviewed, or have their final interview, we'll be up to par finally.
Staff, okay.
So things are sitting pretty, and moving forward.
So I have to ask, it's not often anymore you hear much about the cocaine, as with everything else going on. So a lot of those were similar. Was that were they together?
No, those
Oh,
are
wow.
all, those are
Okay.
all separate.
There's fentanyl in there too, a number of times, right?
Methamphetamine.
Methamphetamines, so that's meth.
Okay.
None of these people had fentanyl on them, except for close relative as far as how it works, heroin, but I think we only had one of those. The rest were, meth is huge now. I mean, meth
Back
has
again,
been
huh?
huge within the last 3 years.
Back again.
Yeah, so meth is
Heisenberg must be
big.
back.
Cheaper.
Yeah.
So Breaking Bad?
Yeah, Heisenberg's
and they,
back.
they don't make, we used to, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, when I was in the bureau, they were all making it, now it just gets shipped. So we don't see it
Yeah.
as much as being made now.
So not make it in the Walmart bathroom anymore. It's just coming up from
Yeah,
south of the border.
yes,
Would
sir.
it be good that once we get these guys in, maybe they come bring these new guys to a meeting or something like that so we can meet them?
Yeah.
I'd be all about that.
Do a
The,
tour. Little tour.
Yes,
Right, I'm just saying.
Tour.
a couple of them are on duty right now, but I will remember that, I don't wanna, I don't wanna get in the weeds here, but paying them overtime to bring them in for it, but if they're on duty when I'm here.
Yeah.
I don't have.
Even during a work session before the meeting, anytime
Yeah, just they
Yeah.
can meet us.
in this time range on these days, whoever's on duty, maybe would have to stop in.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, that's not
So
a
we
bad
can-
idea.
So we can meet who we're paying for, and they can meet who's paying for them, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Yeah, and I would
I mean, I tried to
love
speed past one of them so I could meet him and he didn't pull me.
just, I won't say it, because I was gonna say something in that, but just, that's good, because for the invite, I mean, I just didn't know how you guys would feel about
Yeah,
it.
that's
That's not
great.
a bad idea.
And it doesn't have to be at
Yeah.
the meeting time, like I said, it probably can
Yeah.
be the work session, if it needs to be,
Yeah.
depending on calls.
Something I wanted to ask too that I've always been meaning and I forgot, but I just saw the huge bus that LCNA had in Mentor with, I don't know if you saw.
Oh, yeah.
Huge, that was crazy. Who funds that? Is that out of the sheriff's budget or is that a separate line item like the
No,
crime
so-
lab or what?
So we have a federal grant
Okay,
that we work with LCNA on and the local agencies. There's supposed to be a bunch of agencies that we work with all the time, but sometimes you just don't get the opportunity to. So the three that work the most together is Mentor, us, and LCNA.
but who
Sometimes
funds
Willoughby Hills
LCNA?
will-
That's what I'm getting. Where's their
So
funding come from?
LCNA has their own levy. So through the prosecutor. So
Okay.
they're deputized by us
That's
as
the other
special
question.
deputies.
Okay,
So that gives them authority to work.
okay. So they're
As a law
technically
enforcement.
sheriff deputies.
Yeah, technically
Special.
special deputy.
Okay.
That's how they get their arresting,
They're law enforcement
Commission.
powers, right?
Yes.
Okay.
but they're funded through their own levy.
So they're standalone. They don't receive
Right, and
money out of the.
they're managed by their own chief,
Okay.
and they have a review board
Okay.
that's made up of police chiefs in Lake County and the sheriff,
Okay.
and some commissioners.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Thanks.
said Tusig is the ex-Marine?
Yes.
If you ask him, he'll say he's a Marine, but just saying.
Well, former full-time Marine.
They always say, I'm not an ex-Marine.
Yeah.
Every time I hear that, it kind of catches me. What's up, kid?
Yeah. Oh, and then, I don't know if you guys saw it on social media, there was something going on Nelmar where somebody.
White van,
Yeah,
kids.
got upset because there was a guy who pulled up to the kids were having a lemonade stand. And the
jeez.
guy's a painter,
Oh, my.
and that's why he drives a white van. So he was just talking to them while he got lemonade. And he was a teacher at Lamuth, he is a bus driver.
Oh,
now.
my God.
Does he live on?
I don't know where he lives, but
But
he's all,
a suspect.
but it's all good.
What a,
So-
what a time we live in.
So no need to worry,
Social media is awesome sometimes.
yeah.
Right.
We'll never buy it again. We'll never stop again.
Okay.
Anything else?
No,
No,
that's it.
thank
Thank
you
you.
very
All right,
much.
thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I want to thank the sergeant for his assistance. This is my first opportunity to publicly thank them for their assistance at our Family Fun
Oh,
Day.
yes.
And
Thank
your
you.
Explorer group.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody did a great job, and you putting the drone up, getting us some interesting footage of our event. So thank you for all that, sir.
Absolutely, anytime.
Do
Thank
you want to
you.
ask him about the golf carts at all? or-
Well, we
No,
don't.
we'll get that
We'll
later.
get that. This doesn't need a meeting
Yeah.
topic. All right, thank you. Department report. Oh,
Can I make a comment on this?
sure.
Okay. John Music, 45 Coventry Drive. Just a comment in regards to Riverside, there is a school board meeting tomorrow night at 7, and as we all have seen, even what Mentor High School's going through has been on national news, and you hear about Willoughby Eastlake. I've talked to board members all over the county and so forth. And there's a bill that you may, and elections coming up, and there's a state issue 1 and 2 and so forth, and there's a House Bill 327. I would like, and it's regarding schools. And the thing about it is, only thing I am asking is that the residents in Painesville Township read all this stuff, and when I went to Riverside, when you went to Riverside, we did not have to have deputies in our schools. To me, that's a disgrace that we have to do something like that. And the thing about it is, we can't say nothing is not happening. Something is happening. It's like, for instance, I've been working on illegal immigration for 25 years. And I said the day will come when politicians will use it for votes, power, and money. And you can see what's happening today in our country. Nobody would listen to me. And just like sadly, I'm going to predict, because we have no idea who's coming in this country, we are going to have a catastrophic event in this country. So we have no reason who's coming and why they're coming. And these guys, and the Border Patrol and everything, are going to be very, very, very busy, sadly. But anyhow, I just wanted to mention, I want to thank the deputies for doing what they do. But in all reality, you imagine putting 6 or 7 more deputies on the road versus having to have them in schools.
Well, both would be great.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. No, but even though, hey, when you went to school, Gabe, your parents didn't have that much of a concern about your safety.
No, so back then, we were afraid of what would happen to us at home.
That's right.
If we got in trouble at school.
Yeah.
And I think the tide has turned where if something happens at school, it now becomes the student and the parents against the school.
That's correct.
Is what's happened.
And it's like, just like I was reading.
self-accountability,
I was reading an email this morning, and it said, the best teachers are the parents for their children,
Of course.
And I agree with that 100%.
Yep.
So I'm just saying, that, again, thank you, but it's just sadly we have to do such a thing,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Well, and I agree with you. We do have that outside aspect, but I think he can attest this. Also, we have a problem I can tell because my kids are just in elementary school. The behavioral issues within the school require additional enforcement to help, even at elementary school level, what we're seeing in the schools with the kids. They have to have police there because the kids are acting out inside the school, not just the fear we had of a threat coming in. Now we have kids inside the school putting teachers and students at risk with their behavior, so that's another level we have to have officers in there.
And the thing about it is, the biggest thing is, why?
Well, yeah, that's.
And we won't
We
go
can talk
there,
about that for.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
but why?
Exactly.
Why? So, all right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Service.
So just a reminder that on October 19th, Painesville Township is hosting this snow and ice training class. It's going to be held at the Concord Community Center. All of the townships in Lake County and the city of Painesville and the village of Fairport Harbor will be attending. All of the elected officials, administrators are also welcome to attend. It's from 8 to noon that day. And it'll just be a nice chance to see why we do what we do as we prepare for winter. And I'm looking forward to it, and we're probably in the 60 to 65 person attendance is what we're anticipating so far. So
Is that place big enough?
that's why we had to have it there. That was one place that could be big enough for what we needed. Yes.
8 to noon.
I didn't know that place had a room that big.
Just don't forget, don't forget about the U lab on, you guys, because that's open.
Yeah, I checked into that, but in order to get that many people, you can't have the tables. we can't, that's just more like auditorium, like this kind of seating.
it has a
And we need tables, so.
I didn't think it had a room that big.
I didn't think- yeah,
I thought they were
Concord.
small individual rooms, but
No,
that's weird.
they're-
Okay.
we checked into it, and they're ready for us.
All right, great,
Okay.
thanks. Fire,
Just a reminder, October 1st here at Town Hall. From 9 a.m. to noon will be a community CPR class. Open to anybody in the community who wants to come learn it. It takes 15 minutes. You can come anytime during that time, between 9 and noon.
okay. At Town Hall, right?
At Town Hall, yes.
Nothing
Zoning,
to add. Mr.
nothing to
Chairman.
add. Legal,
Nothing to report, Mr. Chairman.
administrator,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just very briefly, for our viewing public, I did get word today that the main component of our audio system overhaul is in. We'll get that installed next week. They're still waiting on an amp, but a lot of the, I think, issues that we've experienced with the microphones should be
Good.
resolved next week. Also, just wanted to mention that Bill Thompson and I attended the little library dedication at Haddon Park the other day in honor of Rita Hamley. It was a very, very nice ceremony. Her daughters were there. It was all very touching in her memory. It's a beautiful little library, much like we have at Chickanetti Park too, which was dedicated just this past Sunday
Yes.
as well. And thank you to the Friends of Morley Library they're going to basically oversee both of those boxes and make sure that they're in shape and providing a nice service to our residents.
do you want to float to them, the one that's on Fairfield as well?
I did. I think there
Okay.
was just maybe a little reluctance because it was a privately owned one as opposed to a publicly owned one.
Okay.
But I can ask them again. I'll see if there's, and the other thing is they have to find a steward who's sort of in the area.
I see. I just figured since they were right there, it's just up the street,
But
maybe.
I can ask
Okay.
him again. But again, very nice ceremony. And again, too, thank you to the trustees and our fiscal officer for providing the document shredding day. I think we had nearly 100 cars come in that 2 hours at our service garage on Saturday. And thank you to Josh's kids who did the bulk of the work there. In fairness, I didn't have to lift anything too heavy because they were there, I know that. So thank you guys as well. Just a couple upcoming events in our township. I just wanted to mention, just for, again, our viewing public, at the fairgrounds on September 24th is hazardous waste collection. You can get online and see what the hours are for that. And at the Lake History Center, towards the end of September and into early October, they're doing lantern tours, it's hard to say quick, as well as they have a clam bake on the 24th. Lastly, a reminder to everyone here that our next scheduled meeting will be the evening of October 12th. It is out of our usual cycle. However, it is a general meeting, and it will be held at Riverside High School, work session beginning at 6 and our trustee meeting at 7:30. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Great, thanks. Fiscal officer.
Yes, I'd ask request a resolution to certify the cleanup costs for the following properties. 34 Oakwood Boulevard in the amount of $250, and 81 Woodworth Avenue for $250.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 I would also request a resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's
Aye.
all I have, Chairman.
Okay. Trustees, this is always my favorite one. I need a motion, request a resolution that Halloween be held on Halloween in Painesville Township on October 31st from 6 PM to 8 PM.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I need a motion to request a resolution authorizing trustee chairman Gabe Cicconetti to prepare and submit application to participate in the OPWC State Capital Improvement Program.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. I need a motion to request a resolution to enter into contract with Dumpster Bandit for curbside leaf pickup at a cost of $120 per hour per truck.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And I need a motion to request a resolution to approve payment to Kenworth of Richfield in the amount of $6,376.51 for the replacement of the after-treatment wiring harness on truck number 10 in the service department.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Trustees, anything else to note? No? Okay, hearing none. Motion to adjourn at 11:28.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Aye.
Motion carries.